I'm Diana McCullum.
Hey, I'm Andrew Rodman.
And this is Fan vs. Fan for The Flash.
I'm you.
Oh, look great.
Everything with you is about time, isn't it? The past, the present, the future.
Caitlin's working with Savitar.
You know all of it, right? You know our strengths, you know our fears.
She's my best friend.
You know how much we love each other. And you know how to use that love against us.
This is all history to him.
I know who you are.
It's about time.
The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
So, on tonight's episode of The Flash, we see Tracy, who is joining the team and trying to create a Savitar prison because she does it in the future. Killer Frost attempts to kill both Tracy and Cecile is in love with Joe. Joe returns that love, and we find out who Savitar is. It was Barry from the future the whole time. That's what happened on tonight's episode of The Flash. Let's get into it. Let's talk about pros. Alright, so pros for tonight's episode. Diana, what did you like?
I really like Tracy.
Yeah!
I think she's delightful. I like this actress. Not enough to remember her name.
Right.
I've seen her in a lot of things, though. She's just... I feel like I don't normally like a klutzy person all that much. It's hard. It's easy to make it not charming.
It's an intelligent klutzy, though,
yes.
which I think is a little bit more charming than just a general doofus. But yeah, she's a charming klutzy, like kind of scatterbrained all over the place person.
Yeah, I think she's a nice addition. I know she's in a few more episodes at least. I like her around. I love seeing a scientist that isn't Caitlin because we've had many problems with Caitlin in the past. I like her a lot as Killer Frost too. That's my second pro.
Okay.
So like we get cool Caitlin now, and then we get better other female scientists.
Okay.
So, like, this episode's dope.
Like a dodgeball 2-person swing. You know, you got one out, one in. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, the team's like one extra lady.
Yeah.
But like we've switched all the players into better positions.
I'm down with it.
Sports.
Sure. I feel that really fell apart when you tried to do sports about it. Oh boy, could have just left it the dodgeball thing, kept it moving, but you didn't. But I do agree with you. Tracy is definitely one of my big pros as well. she is a delight. She is a great addition to the cast. More charming and personable, and better comedic timing with the team than what Caitlin provided. Just immediately, I'm feeling a far greater attachment to her than I have for Caitlin or a lot of the female characters that the show has had. So I really like Tracy as an addition to the team. I feel like she fills a void that has sincerely been missing. Adds a little bit of joy and charm to the team.
I agree. A little bit of lightheartedness because she's new blood.
And that's absolutely necessary, especially when I don't mind that they do this swing with Cisco sometimes, where Cisco occasionally will become a very dour person all of a sudden, which it feels very human, and I don't necessarily mind that they do that with Cisco, but it really draws attention to it when there's an episode where Cisco is dour. You suddenly realize there's no charm on this team anymore.
Yeah, there's no one who's happy because Barry hasn't been
Barry's
happy
just
for
like,
years.
my love's gonna die. Like he's like, why can't I change past?
Exactly.
Yeah, you need a fun, likable person, and Tracy's filling that void really well.
She is, and she's playing off Wells well because Wells and Cisco are always funny, but when Cisco said him and Wells aren't funny anymore,
right?
So like her and Wells are having fun times. Wells has also been having some fun times just on his own. What was that joke he made about the book? That was great.
Oh, all's wells that ends wells.
That's solid. That's just some great writing.
I want that book.
We all want that book.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the ladies all switching positions this time is great. Caitlin is Killer Frost just ice manning around.
Not bad. The CGI on that was okay.
I thought that was pretty good for TV.
I thought it wasn't bad. I feel like this show has done better CGI work when they do it in limited doses. I feel like that was far too long a sequence for them to do something at their maximum potential, because this show sincerely has had some CGI that kind of like made me taken back for a moment, because I didn't expect that caliber of CGI from this show, but they do that in small doses when they can really focus and give attention to a few different two camera angles in maybe like a 10-second shot. But this went on a little bit too long for them to give it the care and attention that they've given some other shots in this show. So I thought it was fine, but I didn't love the killer frosting.
I thought the CG was fine, but I also just thought it was just fun to see Killer Frost actually be like fun and going out there and doing stuff. I think
absolutely.
I really like Danielle Panabaker as Killer Frost so much more than Caitlin,
I
kind of hope they can like make her good but evil. I hope when they
like an
fix her-
anti-hero kind of balance,
Well,
maybe.
I
or
hope they can fix her and she'll be good again, but she'll still look this way and be super cool.
I get
her
that.
Outfit was dope.
I get, yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all.
I want it.
And I would say one of my other big pros for this episode as well was, talking about all of the female characters, Danielle Pennebaker is better as Killer Frost than she is as Caitlin. The addition of Tracy really works as a comedic addition to the team, someone who has a place on there. Cecile as well is a very charming, likable, and believable love interest for Joe. It really gives Joe a dynamic in the show that he hasn't necessarily had the opportunity to perform previously. So he gets to perform. I feel the chemistry between the two of them. It's a romance that I believe in, that I'm invested in, and they really perform in a way that I buy into all of it. And I feel like it's one of the first real romances on the show that I've been like, I get you two. You two belong together. And then Iris and Barry are around, and I'm like, get your sister out of here. But I see Joe and Cecile together, and I'm like, you two, I think you're going places.
Yeah, I mean, we were joking that we thought the thing that Joe had to tell Cecile was that his son is dating his daughter.
Right.
Which was the complicated thing.
Right. But they've been on double dates before.
Yeah, I guess you didn't notice. But yeah, I also love Cecile. I think both Cecile and Tracy, it's going to sound like a weird thing to say, feel like real people.
Yeah.
Which, and
Absolutely.
like, I actually feel instantly connected to them. Like, I'm concerned about them and worried, where some people on this show, I guess because it's so fantastic, can be like, that's not a real person. They'll just fall into the Speed Force and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But they feel like real people with real stakes and real relationships. I really like both of them.
I 100% agree with that. So I think that those are our two big pros. Do we have anything going on in the chat room? Or?
Yeah, people are really divided on the reveal. Some people love it.
The reveal.
Some not liking it at all.
Okay,
Should we wait for cons?
So a lot of people in the chat right now, as our producer Will just broke down, are talking about whether they loved or hated the reveal of Future Barry being Savitar. I think that is the perfect bridge for us to just get into the next section of Fan v Fan. Let's move away from pros and start talking about cons. Alright, so the fact that we had to change sections of our after show, I think, might reveal a little bit about our emotions for the reveal. What is a con that you have for this episode, Diana?
I wrote down one thing, and it says Barry Savitar.
There we go.
That's all
There you
I
have
wrote
it. Good night,
down.
everybody.
You guys
Thanks
have
for
a good
tuning into the
time.
live stream. Good luck. Yeah, it was that is not what we wanted from that at all.
I feel like I might have accepted this if they revealed it like 6 episodes ago. It's been so long that no one they were going to say was going to impress me anyway, but like, it was Barry.
It's been so long and drawn out, and I feel like it's not even that bad a reveal. I inherently don't dislike this reveal. If someone just watched like the first Savitar episode and then this episode, not a bad turn. It's all of the episodes in between that kind of invalidate this reveal. Like the fact that Barry in last episode went to Future Barry to help to try to figure out who future Barry turned out to be. Like, when you're having episodes of visiting your future self to try to figure out the riddle of who Savitar is, and it turns out to be your future self, so that last episode was kind of meaningless because you just didn't go far enough into the future. You went far enough to long hair emo you, but
Spider-Man 3
not
there.
quite far enough into the future to see mech suit you. Like things like that, where all of the episodes in between really invalidate this being a powerful reveal.
Well, like, everything about Savitar invalidates it to me. I'm like, there's no reason Caitlin would be like, sure, I'll work for you immediately. She just ran away from Barry and tried to kill him.
Yeah.
I don't see Barry going into, like, 2,000 years ago and deciding to be a god and picking a random name called Savitar and just, like, doing all this weird creating metahumans from Earth 2 thing that he's doing, that he did with Dr. Alchemy. Like, what does that have to do with Barry?
Why would he choose any of these things?
And I also have a lot of questions about Reverse Flash now, because Reverse Flash is an enemy of the Flash in the future. But was he Savitar in the future? Did Reverse Flash know these things? I just don't like any of it.
Yes, because
It's
Reverse
too
Flash
complicated.
seems to have come from a version of the future past emo him during Savitar him, where he should be Savitar. So there's a lot of stuff like that where we've been pretty liberal with like letting the show go for timelines not making sense, but now the timelines don't make sense and the character motivations do not. It's cool without substance.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, Barry's gonna kill Iris.
Yeah, it doesn't make all because he knows that watching Iris die makes him sad and makes him better at being able to kill Iris. It is just such a circular nonsense logic.
If he's mad that he got trapped in the Speed Force because he went evil, maybe just never kill Iris, and it seems like none of this will happen.
And you just wouldn't be trapped in the Speed Force ever.
You'd just be happy with Iris.
Yeah, so he seems to become more evil and less adept at problem solving.
He's lost all of his problem
Actually,
solving
you know what?
skills.
I'm going to say he's remained constant over the years at understanding how time travel works. He's like, I was put in prison. How do I change this? Do the thing that put me in prison. Like that shows the fact that over the years of his life, he never learned a single thing about how time travel works.
Yeah, you'd think the first day he gets out of the Time Force prisons, he's like, I should fix what put me in this Time Force prison.
Yeah.
And make it not happen.
And I think it was additionally disappointing. I know, unfortunately, we weren't live last week with a Fan v Fan. Apologies. We're glad to be back this week. But last week, we had so much expectation because the episode ended with the reveal of Killer Frost seeing who Savitar was. Savitar stepping out of the armor. And we as an audience don't get to see, but Killer Frost does. And immediately she's like, oh my god, I have to work for you.
No questions asked.
And so in our head, we had then the conclusion that, oh, it's going to be Ronnie. It's going to be her ex-husband who died in the Firestorm explosion. Or in the... Yeah, was the Firestorm?
It was like
the
a
dimensional
portal
gateway thing.
And nobody.
Nobody.
He died in like a time explosion. We're like, oh, he became a speedster in the explosion. We never had a body. That's why he was met in the Speed Force earlier in the season to remind us he exists.
And that was
that would be a great reveal.
And that was the only logical conclusion we came to of who could be in a suit of armor that would step out, that Caitlin would go, oh my god, I without question follow you. Mm-hmm. And her ex-husband was the only answer we had to that character question.
It could have either been Ronnie or her.
Yes.
Those were the two options.
But what ended up happening was it just ended up being a slightly older version of the person she didn't want to work for. So as far as character decisions go, immediately being like, I hate you, Barry, and everyone here. Ice. And to run away and be like, slightly older Barry, I have no questions, tell me what to do. It just doesn't make
You must also be evil.
Sense.
Your face has a scar.
Yeah, and another example of the fact that this reveal, not inherently bad. If you watch the first Savitar episode and the reveal episode, not so bad. Everything in between invalidates kind of the reveal.
Yeah, I don't like it.
What do we have going on in the chat room there, Will?
People
agreeing
really
or disagreeing?
They are agreeing, but people are just really trying to make sense of the time loop. Like, who was that future Barry from last episode? How does he play into this? And
He doesn't. I'm going to flat out say that future Barry from last episode is going to be meaningless, and they're never going to bring up emo Spider-Man 3 Flash ever again.
Although we've changed the future enough that that doesn't even happen anymore, because future Barry didn't know who Savitar was.
Right.
So unless we erase his memory, future Barry knows who Savitar is.
Yeah,
now.
that's a good point. That future is already invalid.
Gone. We stayed there for an episode for no reason.
That was another thing that bothered me last week. I'm like, once you go back to the past and do the slightest thing, all of this episode is meaningless. You mended relationships in a future that doesn't exist anymore. So, just another example of the episodes in between not meaningful.
Ida later is asking, wait, is Flash disappearing in Crisis? The headline that they see. Is that Savitar being trapped in the Speed Force?
Ooh.
I'm so confused.
That's from Ina Layer, is that what you said? Ina, first of all, hey Ina, so Will was mentioning in the chat, you're bringing up the Flash vanishes in Crisis headline. Maybe that is then him getting trapped and for the first time in the Speed Force and becoming Savitar. That would make a lot of sense.
I mean, crises are usually so much better than that.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless he does a sacrifice play and gets trapped and then just goes evil and finds some armor in the Speed Force.
But then what does Iris's death have to do with that? Because if he's sacrificing himself in the Crisis, whatever CW's version of Crisis is, if he's sacrificing himself in the Crisis and gets trapped in the Speed Force to become Savitar, killing Iris is not the inciting incident then that turns him into Savitar. Because clearly he continues even past Iris's death to be a hero and doing heroic things to the sacrifice of his own life. So with or without Iris, he would have done the thing that turns him into Savitar. So yeah, a lot of it doesn't track. You'll go cross-eyed trying to figure it out.
We're gonna need a lot more information, and I feel like I will not be satisfied no matter what.
You need Doc Brown and a chalkboard to try to piece this one together, kids.
And Aili Osaka pointing out, why does Barry have a scar? He has fast healing.
That's another good point. Aili Osaka, wondering why Barry has a scar, and I have the same question. It doesn't necessarily make sense.
I had the same question last week because Wally was in a wheelchair, and I'm like, Barry has had his back broken twice and healed.
Right.
Because Zoom broke his back, and I think Savitar did too. And
he just
healed right up. So I don't know why Wally's healing sucks too. Wally's got shitty healing. And yeah, Barry's face scar doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Especially because, like, in this episode alone, he got stabbed in the leg, and in the next scene, he wasn't even limping. Like, his healing is super great. A lot of it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. And I don't think, even though I don't know practically what the reason for his scar is, I also don't think we're going to get an emotional payoff there. Like, it doesn't feel like a Doctor Doom thing of being like, I'm vain and this brings me shame. He's wearing a full suit of armor, but he's also wearing like a casual night out wardrobe underneath it. Did that bother anybody else?
I didn't notice.
That he's wearing just like a buttoned up H&M jacket and a pair of jeans and like some high tops. And I'm like, you should still be wearing either A, your regular Flash costume slightly tattered up, B, some kind of alternate version of a Flash costume, C, naked, or D, some kind of workout clothes. You shouldn't be in a casual, like, he looks like he's about to have a drink with friends.
You don't know what he was doing the rest of this episode. He made Caitlin do all the work, even though he's a speedster and could have killed that lady.
He's not walking around the city.
Yeah, he was like out on dates. He's catching up on his Netflix queue. He's been trapped in the Speed Force for hundreds of years. He had things to get caught up on.
Oh, boy.
You gotta just go out of the town.
One last comment from David Folmsby. From a storytelling perspective, the next episode should be Savitar's story, how he got from the present Barry to the future version.
I agree with Folmsby. Folmsby saying that from a story perspective, the next episode should be from Savitar's perspective. And I agree with that. I think it would be cool to get a villain backstory.
I 100% agree. I always love a villain backstory episode. Like, I think Kingpin and Daredevil did it best.
Yeah.
You just get this, like, full episode from the villain's perspective. And I need it because I need answers for me to like this storyline in any way.
Yeah, I haven't looked at what to expect from next week's episode, so I haven't checked out any of the previews or anything like that. I don't know if we're going to get that. It would be cool to have. I'm not necessarily expecting it because, judging by how the season is progressing and what they've been doing with Savitar, I feel like we're going to find out this backstory from tell instead of show. I feel like Savitar or Future Flash, Future Barry, is just going to say all of the things that occurred, and we're not actually going to see what led to this event, because the show is still going to want to keep the mystery of, like, what was the crisis, and they don't want to give you too many hard answers, because too many hard answers will lead to us asking too many questions for the next mystery that they introduce.
But I think I agree they probably will, and I really will tell, and I really hope they show, because I just remember last season when Zoom just sat down, he's like, yeah, I made a bunch of time remnants, and I did this, and he did like 8 paragraphs of exposition with no flashbacks or anything, and it was so awful.
Go do something, Zoom.
Well, he's gone now, but like Savitar, I hope like actual flashbacks would be amazing.
Okay, so I think that's enough for the con section, so let's keep it moving. Let's talk about Easter eggs. So Easter eggs, how many were there?
There was 0.
There weren't any.
There weren't any. Kathy Brand is not a DC character.
Right.
She was made for the show, so I mean, I like her.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
It's rare. I actually feel like since we've been doing Fan v Fan and since the show has been going on, there hasn't been an episode without an Easter egg.
Not even like a street name drop, which is always like an artist or a writer or anything like that I noticed. It was all just stuff we already know. We already know about Savitar. We already know about all these people. We knew about Killer Frost. Just continuing the story.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible we missed something. Probably not, because we're perfect. But there is a chance, perhaps, that we missed an Easter egg. But even if we did miss 1 or 2, a real oddball week to not have an Easter egg.
I don't know. I'm actually surprised there's been as many as there has been. We're on season 3. So we're pretty far in. There's running out of stuff to dip in there.
Instead of Easter eggs, then, one thing that I would like to take a minute to discuss would be wild speculation.
Oh, I love wild speculation.
Wild speculation. One thing that I am concerned about this. So this has been an issue for the series so far for me, and I've just been maybe burned too many times. Talking about really enjoying Tracy and Cecile on tonight's episode. Mm-hmm. Really enjoying two strong, cool, fun, relatable female characters.
They're so toast.
My immediate reaction is the countdown to when they write them out of the show, because they do not want these characters on the show. I feel like this is Patty and Jesse all over again.
And Gypsy's gone too.
Now Gypsy,
I feel like
is a permanent guest recurring. We'll get a couple episodes with her every season. She's fantastic. And Jessie maybe will pop back for one or two, but they're going to permanent write her off at some point soon. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm. Too many
I just feel like it's Patty and Jesse all over again. That the second that they get Caitlin back to the good side, they're going to be like, well, we can't have this many female characters. Bye, Tracy.
Dr. Brand. Yeah.
Done. I just feel like they're going to ditch them. Or the second that they have an episode with Gypsy or Jesse back, they're going to be like, get out of here, Cecile. So I am worried.
I think Cecile could stick around. If we've already done a breakup, you're usually going to stick around quite a bit.
I feel like she's probably going to get a death
no,
instead of a write out.
No, I think
Cecile's dead.
I think Tracy could die, or maybe go with HR to a different Earth if HR goes back to his Earth.
I could see that. Reset the season with a new Wells.
Well, we always get a new Wells.
We always get a new Wells every season.
So if this HR goes back to his Earth, brings Tracy with him. I'm okay with her leaving that way.
Okay, so they'll get rid of this cool female characters the same way that they got rid of Jessie. Being like, and Gypsy. Yeah, being like, another Earth called you. Bye. What do we have going on in the
Aelia Saka again pointing out there could have been like an Easter egg all along that nobody realized. Savitar's lightning is white, but the light he emits is blue, just like the future New 52 Flash.
Oh, okay. Aelia Saka breaking down the color scheme of the lightning, saying that it's a New 52 Future Flash.
I've never been good at being one of those nerds that studies like color schemes and stuff. Like when Breaking Bad people analyze the colors, I'm like, I don't know, just watch the show. No, like great catch. It's not my kind of thing. But.
Right. I get that. Yeah, that's a really cool catch. That's normally my kind of thing, but I had not picked up on that. But I think that's dope as hell.
That is dope. And just I actually really like that. He kind of admitted that he was the Flash earlier. If you just looked at like the punctuation of "I am the future Flash," as long as there's no comma in that sentence, he just admitted it really early.
I think I actually thought that line was both dumb and kind of cool at the same time. Where I'm like, "I am the future Flash." I'm like, that's really stupid, but kind of unapologetically fun.
I liked it.
That felt like a line from a Fast and Furious movie to be like, this is fun, and you didn't care about making it anything other than fun. I liked that. I feel like what hurt the whole I am the future Flash reveal was all of the other way more obvious shit that they did that only came up this episode. Like Killer Frost saying all of the exact words and being like, you two have a lot in common. Being like, oh my god, Killer Frost, you've known a secret for half a day and you've spilled the beans. Like if Savitar never revealed himself to Killer Flash, Barry would never know. It was the fact that Killer Frost does not know how to inflect or keep a secret is what tipped the whole thing off.
I want to see the conversation of her and Savitar, where Savitar was like, and then I'm going to say this, and you say this back, and then I'm going to say this exact line, and then you say this back. Like, they broke down the scene line by line before it happened.
All right, well, thank you very much for watching Fan v Fan, our live after show for The Flash. We appreciate you tuning in. We will be back live with another after show next week, so be sure to click below and subscribe to Dork Shelf on YouTube so that you get notifications for the next live Fan v Fan and for all of the other great videos that Dork Shelf is putting out.
And make sure to follow Dork Shelf on Twitter at Dork Shelf. They have amazing articles about news and movies, great stuff.
All the good stuff.
You won't want to miss.
You need that stuff.
You need that stuff, and other stuff you might need is you can find us at FromSuperheroes.com where we make nerdy stuff.
Yeah, at From Superheroes on Twitter or FromSuperheroes.com where you can find our YouTube series, podcast, or webcomic, plus so much more. Check out FromSuperheroes.com.
All right, I'm Diana McCullum.
And I'm Andrew Rodney.
Bye.
Kicked him out.
Kicked him out!